First offseason under new general manager Joe Ortiz and head coach Jim Harbaugh. The Chargers have a lot of work to do as they're currently more than $25 million over the salary cap. Excluding quarterbacks, there are 6 players in the entire NFL who have a cap hit of at least $32 million, and 4 of those players are on the Chargers in pass rushers Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and wideouts Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Here's what Ortiz had to say when asked about the futures of those players.
We're still working through it. Obviously, the cap got bumped up a little bit higher than I think everyone was expecting, a little bit more. So gives us certainly some flexibility, a little bit more increased flexibility. So we'll kind of continue to talk through that over the next couple of weeks and have a plan of attack shortly.
All right, Dan Graziano, where are the Chargers with reworking this roster right now?
Yeah, you heard Joe Ortiz talk about that. Like, they're confronting some very difficult decisions. Those 4 players that you mentioned, all with cap hits north of $32 million for this year. None of them have any guaranteed money in their contracts, but they all have roster bonuses due on the 3rd day of the league year, March 16th. So the decisions have to be made by then. Khalil Mack and Keenan Allen are in the final years of their contracts. I think that makes them particularly vulnerable. They would love to find a way to keep Joey Bosa, but I mean, frankly, they'd love to find a way to keep all these guys. These have been, in some cases, franchise cornerstone kind of players for the Chargers that they don't necessarily want to get rid of, but it is very difficult to see all 4 of them being on the 2024 roster.
Yeah, this feels like one of those situations where they kind of, expected to be better sooner, and they just haven't been, and now changing at head coach is going to be kind of, some hard decisions to make on really good players, which means you got to get it right in the draft if you end up having some cap casualties. The other thing is this. Just look at the history of Jim Harbaugh. He likes to run the football. Like, former quarterback, whatever. Like, they will be, the identity of the team will be as running the football. Think of Stanford under him. Think of the 49ers under him. The same thing at Michigan. That will happen for the Chargers. And so they need to be in the running back market in a very big way. There's a prominent running back that's on the market. But because of everything that, Dan just talked about in terms of, high cap hits for, highly paid players on their team that they'd like to keep, that might prevent them from being able to get somebody like Saquon Barkley, who could be available and who would be a great fit for probably what they want to do offensively.
Yeah, I think you make some very good points. I think the overarching job for Jim Harbaugh is to get these guys to play up to their maximum level. Because I can make a clear argument that other than Keenan Allen, including the quarterback, everybody has underperformed there in Los Angeles for the Chargers. So how are you going to get these guys to play up to their level? That includes Khalil Mack, who other than the 6-sack game really was underwhelming last season. Joey Bosa. You look at Mike Williams, who can't stay healthy. I can go on and on, even Austin Eckler. So how do you get this talented team, or a team that we deem is so talented, to play up to their talent? I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Williams is no longer there. I think this is a draft that's deep at receiver. And I agree with you. They want to run the football. So why do you need 2 $20 million receivers? There is a lot that has to be done in Los Angeles. And I think a lot of it has to take place off the field in the meeting room to challenge those guys. Hey, are we going to play up to what our talent says, or are we going to continue to be an underperforming team here in Los Angeles?